Welcome back to the series where I show you how to birdie every single hole in the game. Today we have Classic A holes 10 to 12. Now hole 10 is on the easier side and it is pretty much the same as hole 11. The only thing I have to say to you here is that avoid the bunker at all costs. When you have directional wind pushing you to the left or to the right, make sure you adjust enough to clear the bunker, because if you land at the bunker, you'll have to chip back onto the fairway before you can chip onto the green, effectively adding one stroke to your score.
Nice.
Now off the tee, you're going to go full power on the driver. There's no reason not to. And for stroke 2, we're going to look to have a simple chip onto the green and roll up to the hole. Now, I never like to use backspin if I can avoid it. So even though this hole placement is in a weird spot, it's kind of close to the fairway, I'm still going to shoot less power and roll up to the hole. Now in this case, I'm going to take the 9-iron, go slightly over 3 dots. And really all I'm trying to do here is set myself up for an easy birdie putt. Which is exactly what I do. Come within 3-4 feet of the hole. Setting myself up for a safe putt. Now when you have harsh winds, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But your goal from stroke 2 should always be to just land within 10 feet of the hole to secure birdie. And that's how you get birdie on hole number 10. We are moving on to Classic A, hole 11, another relatively simple hole. Now when there's no wind, 7-iron is all you need. If you go 7-iron full power with backspin, you will land on the middle of the green every time. And in the case here where the hole is at the back of the green, if I were to do backspin, it would spin me back away from the hole. So I'm not going to use backspin and I'm just going to go 7-iron still, but a little bit under full power.
Nice shot.
Now, when there's no wind, if you don't want to use backspin,
Nice approach.
if you use the 7-iron, 3 2/3 dots of power will clear the bunker and you will land kind of on the near side of the green. So you can use that knowledge to your advantage and adjust from there depending on the wind. And that's how you secure birdie on Classic A, hole 11. Moving on to the final hole of Classic A, we have hole 12, a very eagleable par 5. Now I'm going to take the shortcut and drive to the island and show you how to get an eagle this way. But if you ever want to go around, it's also fairly simple. Just shoot to the end of the fairway here. Then use a spoon, shoot to the end of the fairway here, and from there it's a simple chip onto the green to set yourself up for a birdie putt. But in this case, the wind is allowing me to go to the island, and that's what I'm going to do.
Nice
With
shot.
no wind, full power on the driver will get you to the island every time. If there is a headwind or a tailwind, you will have to adjust. 17 miles an hour is the max that I will go in terms of headwind, because at that wind you'll land on the rough on the outskirts of the fairway. Anything stronger than 17 miles an hour headwind, you will probably undershoot and you will land out of bounds. And if you have a tailwind, you might have to club down to a spoon or you might have to adjust your power accordingly. Now for stroke 2 in terms of power, you want 3-iron, and when there's no wind, you want to go slightly over 3 3/4 dots in terms of power. The fairway is a little bit slanted, so if you land after the bunker but before the green on the fairway, to the right of where my aim stick is right now, the blue line, your ball will shoot off to the right. So you have to keep that in mind when you're adjusting for the wind. Also take into account the bounce of your ball. But I've adjusted a little bit for the directional wind, and now I'm going to go 3-iron a little bit more than 3 3/4 dots.
Nice shot.
And as you saw there, our ball did bounce to the right. So that is a very good demonstration of what I was talking about. You have to adjust for where your ball is going to bounce when you're chipping onto this green. Now, I know this video is how to birdie every hole, but I am going to sink this eagle putt. However, let's say you undershoot your shot and you land in this bunker here, or maybe you misadjust the wind and you land on the fairway somewhere. From there, it's a very simple chip onto the green to putt for a birdie. Or if you miss your eagle putt,
Great eagle.
that also will work for how to birdie this hole.
Finish.
But that is how you eagle Classic A hole 12. Hopefully you can utilize these strategies in your next online match to score more points, win more games, and ascend through the ranking system. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. The next part of the series is going to be Classic B, so stay tuned for that.